Happy Friday, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. Man, when you got days off during the holiday season like Christmas and New Year's, uh, man, your days get crazy and then you got to go back to work. Ugh. Oh, well, such is life. We all got to go back there someday. This is our New Year's week review. Going to go over bowl games, CFP, basketball. Got a lot of news items to get to over these last few days. First of all, hope you had a great New Year. Mine was pretty laid back. You get old like me, you don't go out anymore. You just chill at home and have your adult beverages while watching TV or whatever. Anyway, hope you had a safe one and a good one. Let's get to some news items. Well, before we start, hit that subscribe button down there, wherever it is, so you don't miss anything. I think probably the biggest piece of news is what happened in New Orleans. Sugar Bowl got pushed off a day because of it. I don't get it, man. You got so many a-holes in this world that just want to cause destruction and everything else for a lot of times, probably every time, a bunch of BS causes of theirs. There's no need for that. Innocent people died. People got hurt. Affected sports world. Just stupid. It is. It really is just stupid. That's the kind of stuff that goes on. With that saying, former Princeton football player Tiger Beck, he was killed in that attack in New Orleans. He was all Ivy League too, kick returner. Played from 2017 to 2019. It's just stupid and senseless and unnecessary. It's just, prayers to him and his family and all the victims that thing, and hopefully praying for all you who got injured. Hopefully y'all are make a full recovery. We're rooting for y'all guys. We really are. NC State. They fired their offensive coordinator, Robert Anae, I think that's how you say it. Replaced him with quarterback coach Kurt Roper. Also Gavin Locklear. He was named tight ends coach there for NC State. This one, we knew this was eventually going to happen. Probably not going to be the last time either until they get a wrangle on this NIL thing. 6 former Florida State basketball players have sued Coach Leonard Hamilton, sued him last Monday, alleging he failed to make good on a promise to get each of them $250,000 in NIL compensation. Former players are Darren Green Jr., Deontay Green, Cameron Fletcher, Josh Nickelberry, Primo Spears, and Jalen Worley. Those players said Hamilton promised them money from his business partner. This all happened like a year ago. They actually walked out of practice last season over missed payment, and they intended to boycott the game against Duke last February, but ended up playing anyway. Didn't matter if Florida State lost that game. But yeah, now they're suing their coach for money that was promised to them. They really got to get a handle. I mean, when they announced it, they didn't announce any rules or nothing. They just said, go. And now we got all kinds of issues. Players transferring out because they want to go make money over here and all kinds of stupid stuff going on. Something's really got to be done about. Hey, I'm not against college players being paid. They should get some money because, I mean, come on. You got to have spending money. And the way prices go up in gas and clothing and everything, you got to get some kind of money. But the way they went about this, they're just totally stupid. The NCAA has pretty much proven itself worthless the last several years. I don't know why they just don't get rid of them, have some kind of committee or something govern college sports. Because those old men in Kansas City or Indianapolis, wherever the hell their office is, they are freaking worthless. They really, really are. Cade Klubnik, he says he is returning to Clemson next season. Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham agree on a new 5-year contract. Puts him in the top tier of Big 12 coaches who are paid a lot of money. Didn't say how much money, but they like what he's doing. And, heck, he got him to the playoffs this year. So, Dan Jackson, he has been named new South Dakota State head football coach. Their old coach took off for Washington State, if I remember right. Texas A&M wide receiver Noah Thomas, he led the Aggies in the receiving, 574 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns. Enters the transfer portal. Sam Levitt, Man, after the Peach Bowl, a few hours afterwards, he announced he's coming back to Arizona State. He loves it there, and guess he got some unfinished business. Um, Shane Beamer and Brett Bielema. Did you see that after their bowl game? Well, as a few days ago, they're still fighting on social media. So you can go read that stuff if you're interested in that. Bama quarterback Jalen Milroe. He says he is entering the NFL draft. Iowa State defensive lineman Tyler Onyedim, I think that's how you say it. He is transferring to Texas A&M. All right. Going back to Monday. Number 19, Missouri beat Iowa 27-24 in the Music City Bowl. Brady Cook, 287 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He's also leading rusher for Mizzou with 54 yards. The kicker, Blake Craig, 9 points, including a 56-yard field goal with under 5 minutes left. So Mizzou and Music City Bowl champions. Basketball, Princeton moved to 10-4, beat Akron by 1. UMass Lowell moved to 11-4, beat Emerson 101-39. Number 18, Michigan State, they moved to 11-2, beat Western Michigan 80-62. Michigan State 20 for 22 from the free throw line. 9-5 Rutgers beat 11-3 Columbia 91-64. Bailey for Rutgers 24 points, 8 rebounds. Team shot overall 11 3-pointers in that game. Number 2 Auburn, they moved to 12-1, beat Monmouth 87-58. Auburn had 20 points off of turnovers in that one. Iowa moved to 10-3, beat New Hampshire 112-70. Where was I? Oh, 6 players for Iowa in double-digit points. South Carolina moved to 10-3. They beat Presbyterian by 10. South Carolina's Bales, 22 points in that game, 18 of them he scored in the second half. 7-5 Kansas State beat number 16 Cincinnati by 3. Kansas State, 15 points off of turnovers. Missouri, they moved to 11-2. They beat Alabama State 82-65. Mizzou, 83% from the free throw line. Vandy, they moved to 12-1, beat New Orleans 100-56. Vanderbilt was on a 6-game win streak as of Monday. Grand Canyon moved to 10-4. They beat Bryant 112-66. Malachi Williams for Grand Canyon, 31 points in that game. Number 14, Houston moved to 9-3. They beat Oklahoma State 60-47. Number 23, Arkansas, they moved to 11-2. They beat Oakland by 30. Thierra and Flan for Arkansas, 22 points each. Nebraska moved to 11-2, beat Southern 77-43. Number 3, Iowa State moved to 11-1, beat 9-3 Colorado by 10. Iowa State 24 points off of turnovers. Number 17, Mississippi State moved to 12-1. They beat Bethune Cookman 87-73. Oregon State moved to 11-3. They beat Portland by 10. Washington State moved to 12-3, beat Loyola Marymount 73-59. Number 19, Gonzaga. They moved to 10-4, beat Pepperdine by 7. Battle for Gonzaga, 21 points. Behind him, Huff had 19 points. San Francisco, they are 12-3. They beat 9-6 Santa Clara by 3. Malik Thomas for San Francisco, 34 points, 8 rebounds. UC Irvine moved to 11-2. They beat Cal Baptist 71-63. Actually, a close game all the way, too. It was only a 4-point game at halftime. Tuesday football, Michigan. Boy, they beat Alabama 19-13 in the Relia Quest Bowl. Michigan was up 16-10 at halftime. Michigan held the ball for 16 minutes more. Had 70 less total yards than Michigan. Alabama 1 for 2 in the red zone and 3 turnovers. Michigan ends the year at 8-5. Alabama ends the year 9-4. Louisville beat Washington 35-34 in the Sun Bowl. Told you Sun Bowl is always a good game. Harrison Bailey for Louisville, 3 touchdown passes. Louisville 9-4. Washington ends the year 6-7. We just talked about Bielema and Beamer having a war on Twitter. Number 20, Illinois beat number 15, South Carolina, 21-17 in the Citrus Bowl. Illinois' Josh McCray, 114 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Luke Altamar, 174 passing yards, 2 touchdown pass, 2 interception. 5 lead changes. Now, Shane Beamer and Brett Bielema almost got into it over kickoff signal. Gamecocks signaled they were letting the kickoff go over their head. They didn't. They instead returned the ball. I forget how far they got. I think they had a decent return, 20, 25 yards maybe. Bielema got pissed, went over to the sideline, doing like this to Beamer. Beamer charges the field to Bielema like he's going to whoop him or something. And that stuff, as of a few days ago, still continuing on Twitter between the two. So I don't know. X, whatever the hell you want to call it. Illinois, man, great year for them. Ends at 10-3. They needed that. South Carolina, hell of a year too. 9-4. I still think when the regular season was over, they should have been undefeated. But man, they just kind of shot themselves in the foot in a lot of those games. But still, hell of a year for them. LSU beat Baylor 44-31 in the Texas Bowl. Nussmeier, 304 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Keys had a 41-yard pick six. Thomas had a 60-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Baylor, they were horrible on fourth down. I don't know why they kept going for it on fourth down, but they did. 1 for 6. I mean, just I don't know why they did. They're also bad on both sides of the ball when it came to fourth down. They just had a fourth down problem in that game. Totally crazy. LSU, they made a few mistakes here and there, but played a great game on both sides of the ball. My wife went to LSU, and I'm sure, like a lot of other LSU fans, when she watched this game, she's like, where the hell has this team been all year? Like I said, they only made a few mistakes. Look good on defense, look good on offense, like almost a complete team. So I'm sure all the other LSU fans are like, where the hell was this all year? Who knows? That's the way it works. LSU ends the season 9-4. Baylor, hell of a turnaround. I think they start off 2-4 this year. 1 out. Lost the bowl game. Finished the year 8-5. Great year for them after that crazy start they had. CFP quarterfinals, man. Fiesta Bowl, Penn State beat Boise 31-14. Penn State run defense was excellent. I mean, they really were. Held Ashton Denty to 104 yards, no touchdowns. Seems like every time he took off through the line, majority of the times, they brick wall. But, I mean, he did get brick a few times. I mean, he got 104 rushing yards, but very impressed the way they kept him contained. Drew Aller, 171, 3 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Tyler Warren. Allen, 134 rushing yards. Singleton had a 58-yard TD return in the fourth. Boise had the ball for 10 more minutes, more first downs. They were better on third down, more total yards, more plays, but 1 for 4 in the red zone and turned the ball over 4 times. Both these teams had over 85 yards in penalties. Anyway, Penn State advances. Once again, Boise State has a great season, 12-2. Basketball. Virginia beat NC State beat NC State. Both of them are 8-5. Number 10, 11-2. Kentucky beat Brown 88-54. Kentucky 33 points off of turnovers. Man, I mean, they always say turnovers will kill you. Well, they do. Wake Forest 10-4. They beat Syracuse 84-71. Syracuse is 6-7. That is crazy from a Syracuse team, isn't it? 6-8 Duquesne beat 11-2 Rhode Island 67-55. Corbett for Duquesne, their leading scorer, 13 points, 10 rebounds. George Mason defeated Davidson 69-57. Both of them are 10-4. St. Joseph's, they are 10-4, beat UMass 81-72. St. Joseph's hit 11 3-pointers in this game. Number 25, 9-3 Baylor beat 8-4 Utah 81-56. 4 Baylor players have double-digit points. 10-2 West Virginia beat number 7, 9-3 Kansas, 62-61. West Virginia was actually up 18 in this game, but Kansas came back. Central Florida, they're 10-2, beat 9-3 Texas Tech by 4. Central Florida was on a 6-game win streak. Dayton 11-3, they beat LaSalle by 14. Malachi Smith for Dayton, 20 points, 18 of them in the second half. St. Bonaventure's 13-1. They beat 10-4 VCU by 2. Xavier 9-5. They beat Seton Hall 94-72. Ryan Conwell for Xavier, 22 points in that game. Number 1, 13-0. Tennessee beat Norfolk State 67-52. Chaz Lanier for Tennessee, 24 points. Hit 6 3-pointers in that game. 6-8 Richmond beat 11-3 George Washington by 5. 9-5 Creighton beat 11-3 St. John's by 1. That loss in St. John's 6-game win streak. North Texas are 10-3. They beat UAB by 3. Atten Wright for North Texas, 22 points. Game-winning three-point shot at the buzzer. BYU, they are 10-2. They beat 9-3 Arizona State by 20. Richie Sanders for BYU, 30 points. He hit 6 3-pointers in that game. Number 2, Duke moved to 11-2. They beat Virginia Tech, 88-65. Duke, 7 straight wins. Number 8, Marquette moved to 12-2, beat Providence, 78-50. Marquette, 27 points off of turnovers in that game. New Mexico moved to 11-3. They beat Fresno State, 103-89. Boise State moved to 11-3. They beat Wyoming, 67-58. Utah State moved to 13-1. They beat Nevada by 5. And then New Year's Day, football. CFP quarterfinals. Peach Bowl. Looked like Texas was going to run away with it. Scatterboo couldn't do anything. And then the second half came around, and Arizona State just lit a fire. They just got on it. Anyway, Texas won 39-31 in 2 overtimes. Like I said, Texas dominated the first half, 17-3 at halftime. Arizona State finally woke up. Outscored Texas 21-7 in the second, forcing overtimes. UT won the overtime periods 15-7. Ewers, 322 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 interception. Golden, 149 receiving yards and a touchdown. Baldwin, 25-yard punt return for a touchdown early in the game. Sam Levitt for Arizona State. We said he's already announced he's coming back to Arizona State. 222 passing yards, 0 touchdowns. Interception. Scatterboo, man, he turned it on in the second half. 143 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, threw a touchdown pass to McClain for 42 yards. Arizona State, 2 touchdowns in 1:30 in the fourth quarter of that game. Sun Devils held the ball for 15 more minutes. They had 12 more first downs. Better on third down and fourth down. 135 more total yards. Less penalties. Crazy stuff happened in this game. Things that actually probably, I'm going to go ahead and say those things that could have ended the game. But these crazy things that didn't happen. First of all, towards the end, obvious targeting call should have been on Texas. Even former professional players on TV, on X, Twitter, whatever, are saying if that wasn't targeting, then they need to get rid of that rule. I think Texas fans are probably the only fans that said, oh, it wasn't targeting. The rest of America says it was targeting. That could have moved Arizona State up in the final few seconds, minute, whatever, and who knows. I know they've had kicking problems, but Arizona State may have been able to kick the winning field goal right there. All right, so Auburn, kicker for Texas, missed 2 field goals. That's not like him. I don't know what was going on there. Potential game winner field goals there. He missed those 2. Arizona State defense. They had Texas at 4-13. Last chance for Texas. Season's on the line. Somebody at Arizona State, don't know if it's Dillingham or the defensive coordinator, said, hey, let's load the box. 4th and 13. You're out from the end zone. Even my coffee table knows they're not going to run. They're going to pass. They load the box, leaves the passing lanes open for Texas. Boom, touchdown. So, like I said, great game, but crazy, stupid stuff happened in it. Texas moves on. Arizona State, great year, great turnaround, 11-3. Rose Bowl, man, I don't know what happened to Oregon. I really thought Oregon would win this game, but man, Ohio State just beat them down, 41-21, 34-8 at halftime. Ohio State just dominated. Oregon did wake up in the second half, but not enough. Howard, 319 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Travion Henderson, 94 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, including a 66-yard touchdown run. Jeremiah Smith, 187 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Kicker Jaden Fielding, he had 11 points for the Buckeyes. Linebacker Cody Simon, 8 solo tackles, 2 losses, or 2 sacks in this game. Dylan Gabriel for Oregon, 299 yards, 2 touchdown passes to Trayshawn Holden, who had 116 receiving yards, by the way. Oregon, better on third down, better on fourth down, but were held to negative 23 rushing yards, 276 total yards. Ohio State, they came to play. They really did. Oregon finishes 13-1. Great season for them, like usual. They always have a good season. Things don't get easier, though. I know their season's over, but the very first game next year for them, Montana State, who's playing in the FCS championship game, was Monday, or either this coming Monday or the Monday after. Things don't get easy for them. They really don't. So, Montana State's a hell of a team. Basketball, Youngstown State moved to 10-5, beat Indiana University, Indianapolis, 77-61. Furman moved to 13-1. Beat Western Carolina 90-61. 6 straight wins for Furman. 8-7 Northern Kentucky beat 8-6 Purdue Fort Wayne by 1 in overtime. Boston College is 9-5, beat Miami by 10. BC was 21 for 26 from the free throw line. Pitt moved to 11-2, beat Cal 86-74. Low for Pitt, 27 points, followed by Cochran, 19 points, 11 rebounds. Number 11 UConn moved to 11-3, beat 9-5 DePaul 81-68. UConn's Ball, 22 points. He hit 7 3-pointers in this game. 9-4 UIC beat 12-1 Drake by 4. UIC's Mason came off the bench, leading scorer, 17 points in that game. Rice moved to 11-4, beat Tulsa 70-64. Clemson moved to 11-3, beat 9-4 Stanford 85-71. Clemson 25 points off of turnovers. 9-4 Louisville beat 8-6 North Carolina by 13. Louisville's Hepburn 26 points. He was 16 for Louisville. I'm sorry, was 16 for 20 from the free throw line. Villanova, they're 10-5, beat Butler 73-65. Eric Dixon for Villanova, 28 points. He hit 5 3-pointers. Bradley moved to 12-2. They beat Indiana State by 1 in overtime. Bradley's Montgomery, 26 points. Sanford moved to 11-3, beat Citadel by 20. Sanford hit 18 3-pointers and had 27 points off of turnovers. Like we said, Sugar Bowl was moved to the next day because of jackass or a-hole, whatever you want to call them, that decided to ruin people's lives there in New Orleans. So Thursday, Sugar Bowl, CFP quarterfinals. Notre Dame beat Georgia 23-10. I want to say it's a pretty good game under the circumstances of everything going on there in New Orleans. Notre Dame dominated the first half, 13-3 at halftime. Georgia did play better in the second half, but Notre Dame defense held them off. Gunnar Stockton, playing quarterback for Georgia for Carson Beck, not a bad game. 20 for 32, 234 yards and a touchdown. Carson Beck is gone, but Stockton, if he stays there, Georgia, I think, work with him in the spring and next, over the summer and next fall in fall camp. I think you have a pretty good quarterback there. So I really do. Where was I? Georgia was stopped on all 3 of their 4th down attempts. 2 fumbles didn't help them. Jaden Harrison for Notre Dame, 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Leonard had a touchdown pass. Kicker Mitch Jeter, 11 points. A lot of kickers kicked 11 points for their teams this week. Irish defense, 4 sacks. Held Georgia for 2 for 12 on 3rd down, 0 for 3 on 4th down, 0 for 2 in the red zone, forced 2 turnovers. Georgia, another great season for them. I know it didn't work out the way they wanted, but hey, 11-3. I would love Texas A&M to have 11-3 record. So anyway, Gator Bowl, Ole Miss beat Duke 52-20. Jackson Dart's final college game, 27 for 35, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns. 2 of them to Jordan Watkins, who had 180 receiving yards. Bentley had 2 rushing touchdowns. Evidently, Jackson's Dart, I don't know if he changed the play at the line or what, but he threw, with 127 left, he threw a 69-yard touchdown pass. Kiffin was pissed. He's just chewing Dart out on the line, saying he should have shown better class. Hey, your last game, why not get one last touchdown? Ole Miss finishes year 10-3. Duke finishes 9-4. Duke still doing good since Elko left for Texas A&M. Basketball, 8-8 Presbyterian. Hey, they beat 11-5 Longwood by 8. Winthrop moved to 11-5. Beat South Carolina Upstate 95-76. Charleston 11-3. They beat Hampton 94-67. South Alabama, they are 10-4. Beat Georgia State 72-51. 10-4 Western Kentucky beat 12-2 Liberty by 1. 6-8 Towson beat 10-4 UNCW by 4 in overtime. Arkansas State, they're 11-3. They beat Old Dominion 78-59. Penn State, they are 12-2. Beat 10-4 Northwestern by 4. Elion, 10-4. Beat NC A&T 75-67. 5-10 Oakland beats 10-5 Milwaukee 65-49. Middle Tennessee is 10-4. They beat FIU by 4. Memphis 11-3. They beat FAU 90-62. High Point, they are 13-3. They beat 10-6 Radford 76-58. Number 20 Purdue, they moved to 10-4. Beat 8-6 Minnesota by 20. Lawyer for Purdue 24 points. Behind him, Smith had 20 points. St. Thomas, Minnesota beat North Dakota State 89-85. Both of them are 11-5. UC Irvine is 12-2, beat Cal Poly 98-89 in overtime. Indiana, they are 11-3, beat Rutgers by 10. South Dakota State, they are 10-6, beat Denver 91-70. UTEP beat Louisiana Tech by 10. Both of them are 11-3. Number 19 Gonzaga, they are 11-4. They beat Portland by 31. 10-4 Washington beat 11-3 Maryland by 6. Osobor for Washington, 20 points, 14 rebounds. 9-6 Loyola Marymount beat 11-4 Oregon State, 87-61. Number 22 Illinois, 10-3. They beat number 9, 12-2 Oregon, 109-77. Illinois shot 58% from the field, hit 16 three-pointers in this game, and grabbed 12 more rebounds than Oregon. San Francisco, 13-3. They beat Pacific by 8. St. Mary's is 12-3. They beat Pepperdine by 30. Today, you got a couple bowl games. 3 p.m., ESPN. First Responders Bowl, battle of some Texas teams. 6-6 North Texas versus 7-5 Texas State. And then tonight, 6:30 ESPN, Duke's Mayo Bowl. 7-5 Minnesota versus 6-6 Virginia Tech. Winning coach gets mayo dumped on him, which is kind of gross, but I guess when you win your bowl game, you probably don't care. Man, we got some good basketball tonight also. 6 p.m. FS1. Iowa versus Wisconsin. Both of them are 10-3. 6 p.m. on ESPN2. 10-3 Wichita State versus 8-5 Temple. That one's okay. But 7 p.m. Fox. Number 18, 11-2 Michigan State versus 9-4 Ohio State. 7 p.m. CBS Sports Network. 9-5 Xavier versus 11-2 Creighton. 8 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. 9-5 Xavier versus 11-2 Georgetown. I don't know what I'm saying. 8 p.m. on FS1. 9-5 Creighton versus 12-2 Monmouth. Late night, you got some late night basketball. It might be all right. 10 p.m. on FS1. Nevada, they're 8-6, but they're playing 11-3 New Mexico. Hey, you never know. It could be an upset. Saturday bowl game. Got the Bahamas Bowl at 10 a.m. Woo, wake up early. On ESPN2. 8-4 Buffalo versus 8-3 Liberty. May not be too bad. Basketball. Some teams are now starting conference play. Others have already started it. Full day tomorrow. Quite a few games on Sunday. This is my favorite time of college basketball season. November, December, you got some good matchups of some teams here and there, you know. But, man, you really start finding out how good a team is going to be when they get to conference play. A lot of these teams, they've got 1, 2, 3 losses. They're just playing whoever. Now we get to conference play. Now you're going to find out, is this team got enough to make it to the tournament, or are they just pretending there during the holidays? Anyway, we'll see. Once again, thank God it's Friday. The weekend is here after that holiday break. Y'all be safe. Have fun. We'll be back either Sunday or Monday to review everything that happens today, tomorrow. More than likely, probably do it Monday so we can get all Sunday's games in too. Because like I said, we have some good basketball games on Sunday also. Anyway, weekend's almost here again. Stay safe this weekend. Have fun, and we'll see you Monday.